Today we'll be taking a look at the latest updates to the Mickie James garbage bag situation, AJ Lee and CM Punk situation, and what's going on with Keith Lee and MVP. Let's start things off with the big Mickie James story. You most definitely heard of this story with Mickie James by now. This basically went viral and was one of the worst looks for WWE. Mickie James was recently released by WWE on April 15th. Mickie James is obviously a wrestling icon and legend in the industry. Her career has lasted over 20 years. She has been a part of so many memorable storylines, has won world titles all over the world, and will no doubt be a part of the Hall of Fame one day. So Mickie James is an icon and a legend in wrestling industry, no doubt about it. So when Mickie revealed that horrible way that WWE handled her release, it had a lot of eyes on WWE. Mickie James posted a picture of a garbage bag that had a tape label on it that said Mickie. She captioned the photo with a very sarcastic message to Vince McMahon and WWE. She had this to say: "Dear Vince McMahon, I'm not sure if you're aware, I did receive my WWE care package today. Thank you. Always blessed and grateful. Women's wrestling matters." Of course, she was being funny and sarcastic by exposing them for how they treated the women and other release superstars. They go to your locker, your drawer, or whatever you have there. They clean everything out, throw it in a trash bag, and put a piece of tape with your name on it before they ship it to you. Maybe you can expect this sort of thing from no-name underground companies, but to see this happen with a global juggernaut like WWE just left the internet absolutely stunned and in disbelief. Mickie James just put WWE on blast with how they handled their release superstars' belongings. Mickie picked up 30,000 likes on her tweet, and the story was literally posted everywhere. It was a dreadful look for WWE. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon broke the silence and spoke on behalf of WWE. Triple H had this to say: "Upon learning of the disrespect treatment some of our recently released talent received, on behalf of the company, we took immediate action. The person responsible for this inconsiderate action has been fired and is no longer with WWE." Stephanie McMahon also commented and had this to say: "Mickie James, I am embarrassed you or anyone else would be treated this way. I apologize personally and on behalf of WWE. The person responsible is no longer with our company." So there was a few apologies from some of WWE's biggest names. Now, were they sorry it happened, or were they sorry they got caught and exposed? That's what many people are wondering, because apparently this wasn't a new thing at all. Release superstars have been receiving their belongings in trash bags for years now. Once Mickie James made her big reveal, everyone started popping up and saying that they got their things in trash bags too over the years. Maria Kanellis said she was given a trash bag in 2020. Gail Kim was also aware of the trash bag, and so many others. This person most responsible for the trash bag allegedly was Mark Carrano. Reports claim that Mark took the fall for Mickie James's trash bag situation and was fired from WWE. Mark Carrano worked with WWE management, and his role was to deliver messages on behalf of other WWE departments to the WWE superstars. He even made a few on-screen appearances in WWE's Total Divas show a few years ago, so he's a familiar face for some fans. But then the news of his firing came out. More superstars came out again and said that he always gave them bad vibes. Former WWE superstar Darren Young being one of those people. WWE also reportedly fired their vice president and several other high-up positions. So there's a whole makeover going on there as well. But what Mickie did was great. She spoke out and exposed WWE for this situation that no other release superstar had the guts to over the years. It really shows the power of social media, where you can bring a lot of global attention to something with a single click of a button. And that's what Mickie James did here. It was something that was horribly wrong that everyone stayed quiet about for too long. Giving former employees their stuff in garbage bags seems so unprofessional, and it's just not a way to treat people, especially people that were just working for you. So let's hope Mickie James's reveal actually brings a lot of change to things like that in WWE from this point on. CM Punk has revealed several haircuts over the years. He's known for switching up his haircuts and having a new look every time you see him. The hairstyle that CM Punk is currently rocking is a mullet. He's taken a few pictures with the new hairstyle and even filmed a TV series with the look, but it's looking like he's debating if he should get rid of it or not. CM Punk posted a poll on Instagram questioning fans if he should get rid of the mullet. The final result of the poll was no, with 53% of the votes. Looks like CM Punk's wife, AJ, wasn't happy with the fans for the result of that poll. She responded to Punk's poll on her Instagram story by showing the results of the poll and saying, "Are you kidding me, people?" So it doesn't look like AJ was happy with this outcome of what the fans voted on. But we'll have to see what CM Punk actually ends up doing with the mullet. Will he keep it or will he get rid of it after all? MVP has truly emerged as one of the top managers and characters in WWE ever since he returned to WWE. Even though Bobby Lashley and MVP call themselves co-founders of the Hurt Business, it still appears that the MVP character really was the one to first get the ball rolling and was always working behind the scenes for the group. That of course led to the highly successful faction of the Hurt Business that all unfortunately ended due to a sudden overnight decision that was just horrible. But thankfully, MVP and Bobby Lashley are still paired together and have hinted at the fact that they will bring in new members into the Hurt Business in the future. We saw King Corbin make a random appearance on Raw a few weeks ago to help Bobby Lashley, and it was a bit confusing and everyone was wondering if Corbin was now in the Hurt Business. But MVP took to Instagram and said that he wasn't a new member. Now there's one other Raw superstar that some fans think could really benefit from MVP's guidance. That individual is Keith Lee. Keith Lee was a phenomenal superstar in NXT and had a great run in the brand, with so many classic matches and moments, such as him even becoming a dual champion at one point. So then he comes over to the main roster, but things quickly get strange very quickly. They took away his classic theme song from NXT and made him try several different songs during his first few months on the main roster. Not only was his music constantly changing on the main roster, but his ring gear kept changing as well. So they couldn't find a theme. They couldn't settle on a ring gear for him. It just started to get very concerning. Keith Lee did pick up a huge pin over Randy Orton during his first few weeks on the main roster and did compete for the WWE title back in January, but he hasn't been there since. Some reports claim it's injury related, some claim that it's creative related, so there's a lot of mystery going on there. But what the fans suggested to MVP was that he should take Keith Lee into the Hurt Business as a bodyguard and help him. MVP responded to that fan on Instagram and said, "No, I shouldn't." Of course, it's extremely hard to tell what someone means with words on social media because it just appears as regular text, so we can't tell the context, feelings, and intentions between those words from MVP. All we can really go by is words that he responded with, and that's the fact that he denied Keith Lee and doesn't think he should bring him into the Hurt Business. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.